Five, four, three, two, one, and we live.
We back, baby. In the
Welcome
official.
back. Something nice, fam. Oh my God, 2021 and
Yeah,
Akil.
let's pause this real quick. That was my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I literally
My
was like,
Wi-Fi didn't work.
Akil's frozen. What's going on? Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Welcome back, Something Nice, fam. Happy 2021. I hope you all missed our voices because we for sure missed. I missed actually calling Akil and doing these Zoom calls. A little break for festive season, but we are back and we got lots
Back and better.
back and better. Right. Back and better. Um, but yeah, we are back in season two. We're super happy to be doing this, continuing this. So if you're still on this journey with us, like shout out to you, thank you. But yeah, so it's your girl Varsha and
Your boy Sweezy, and I want to do some quick housekeeping before we jump into it. So let's go run up the YouTube page. We're trying to get to 250 subscribers by the end of March. Is March?
March, end of
End of
March.
March. Yeah, and you'll have a special surprise coming if we reach our goal, involving the something nice colors and my hair. But yeah, so that's what we're aiming for.
I can't wait to see this. Come on, 250 subscribers.
It's up to the fans as if they want to see it.
Yeah. Surely we want to see that red, white, and green and yellow.
Beautiful dreads. I grew myself.
Yeah, no. Let's hit it up. 250 subscribers on YouTube. Um, Akil's actually got a new video out, so make sure you check that out too. You want to tell them about that, Sweet?
Oh yeah, true. Well, we're having some new mini features talking about music and stuff coming out. I'm not gonna talk about it too much on the podcast, but yeah, just subscribe to the channel and you're gonna get a lot of content. Not just podcasts. You're gonna have a whole bunch of different segments for you guys. So
Yeah.
that's really why we wanna promote subscribing to YouTube channel, because it's not just the podcast like that's on Spotify and Apple Music and all these stuff. You're gonna have some extra content, some exclusive stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So, but indeed. Okay. Sweet. So
But
what
yeah,
are
what's
we
the
doing
vibe?
today?
What's up?
What are we doing today?
To be honest, today I have some stuff I need to get off my chest. Like just right now there's a hole burning through my chest and I just need to get it off. But I don't necessarily need to talk first, but I just want to talk about good old government, good old Uncle Tom.
Good old.
And yeah, but not just any government. I wanna, talk about home specifically, Trinidad. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you could talk about your home too, but I don't know how you feel about your government. But me, there's let me to keep it. I'll start off talking. So the main reason why I want to talk about government today is because due to some recent events that happened in the news and stuff, there's a current wave, a wave of consciousness. I want to say there's a certain energy that's being produced in people. Like people are mad, people are frustrated, and people are just tired of basically having to complain about the same issues my entire lifetime, and nothing is changing. Not even like any attempt to make some kind of valuable change is made. And it's not something like all these problems that I'm going to discuss over today is not stuff that started in 2020 or in 2019. This is stuff that has been happening since I was a little kid, since before I was born. Like, like this the stuff that has been being promoted, not necessarily promoted, but like governments, I would say promoted by absolutely not even attempting to make any kind of realistic change.
Change.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so I just think me, similar to a lot of younger people as well. Although they are older people, I feel like there's too,
Mhm.
there's frustrated of, and there's just a sense of, I don't know, like hopelessness, because there's the government, there's the opposition, and it's either one of those two options, and neither one of them is a good option. Like we've had both the opposition and government, like 2015 to 2020. Those were two different governments.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed before that, like, and both sides are saying like, oh, the other side is the one doing this, the other side is doing this, and it's literally two sides of the same coin. Like, like you have the illusion that you have an option, but there
It
isn't
really-
anyone you could actually vote for. Like, I'm sure you could vote for a third party, but that's not actually going to be realistic. Like, it's not that, like, there isn't a big enough wave or influence of people, and no one even knows what the third party is about either. Like, that's not necessarily a better choice either. Like, it's just that we've had these two really shitty options for so long that, like, people will be open to that, but like people know that the influence that might have is
Yeah.
probably not going to be as effective as they would hope it would be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's really what I kind of want to get off my chest today. But I don't want to just go talking straight, for like 2 hours about my stuff. I feel like we should go back and forth, like relating, certain stuff to each other.
100%.
If you feel.
100%. I think of
Oh,
this.
why I said it up like that is because I want to ask, do you feel like at home in Botswana, like people, or even to make it more specific, like young people, like people in your age group, like do they trust the government? Like, do they like the government? Do they support the government? Do they have hope in the government?
Okay, so for those that don't, like, let me just give people, I feel like in order to understand Botswana's political scene, you have to understand the fact that for the longest time, actually since the creation of Botswana up until like probably our last election, Botswana has been a one party state. So there's one party, there's one political party that created the independent country of Botswana, had its first elections, and it's the same party that's been consecutively winning because they have been the majority major only party. And up
Mm.
until a couple of years ago, I guess, well, a couple, as in a couple, like a while ago, the last election, there was no necessary opposition per se. But that says something because I can really feel the political mood in Botswana changing. Like I can feel it, you know. You can see it, like you can see it. Because a lot of people, a lot of younger people, are getting frustrated with our governments, and more than that, a lot of younger people want to leave. They
Yeah.
want to go out. They want to go out. They'd rather somehow get the educative path outside and stay outside rather than come back. There are very few who want to come back because we've got great political options for the future. But I think like the lucky thing is right now is is very crucial. I feel like the next 10 years is very crucial for what politics holds. But yeah, like young people are frustrated. The government's not as efficient as they want to claim to be, which is the case with all governments. But like, when there's a pattern of consistency, it's frustration. So, um, yeah, younger people are really, really mad. And this new party, the new opposition that was created, is a, I would say, is a quite a good, a decent, what's the word? Is much younger than the
Like,
major party. Is like even just
okay.
younger in terms of like not just how old the party is, but like um the people who are part of the party. It's a much younger population, which is kind of hopeful, but it's a bit scary because the winning party, the big party, does a lot of things. Does a lot of things to, like when you've been in power for so long, the roots
Yeah.
are planted. The roots have
For
been
sure,
planted,
for sure.
and for such a small population and a country with such, I would say Botswana's only like just over 50 years old. So, like we that's quite young compared to a lot of other countries who've had governments running for I don't know how many decades. But like for a country that small with such a young history, those 50 years were so crucial. They were so crucial. And I don't know. The party started off doing a lot of great things, I must admit. But where it's at right now, I think everybody's frustrated and a bit unhappy. Yeah.
But do you see like more people like is it like a realistic goal for the like that second party that you see like that's coming up like for them to actually have like an impact or like to
Well,
even have the chance to win?
so this is the thing. Like the major party has lost a lot of support in the big cities, like the big township areas. They've lost a lot of support.
Yeah.
Their major support comes from deep in Botswana, like in by the villages, by the cattle posts, by the rural area. And that's
Mhm.
because I would say that party used to have members, not anymore, but used to have members that may be considered equivalent to what a royal family in Botswana would look like, in my opinion. Okay.
Wow.
They are, it's not royalty, but like I'm saying it's an equivalent stature of what it may be. So the name has power, the name has influence. The people associated behind are names that people have known very long time. They are names of people who created our country. So
Yeah.
it's hard to just look past those names all the time. Do you get what I mean? So
Yeah, I feel continue, sorry.
yeah, 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 yeah. So I don't know. I think just me being a hopeful person, and a lot of us being hopeful in general, we are. I do see just the fact that an opposition party has been created for me is a bit. I feel a bit of relief. Not relief, but like I'm like, okay, there are people who want to come in, who want to take that platform and that step to say, okay, if I want the change, I'm going to bring it, and it's kind of nice. But this is where I think it's crucial because I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are not going home. Like a lot of people want to leave. And if we want to go back and change things and create change and give in more like diversity of opinion, like in terms of
Yeah.
who's in parliament, who's elected in parliament, who are we, not just who are we electing, which parties are we electing, like, and not just that, like what genders are we electing, like what opinions are we trying to talk about, like, you know what I mean, like just diversity in
Yeah.
all kinds of counts and representation across Botswana, like across Botswana, trying to cover every party's interest. Very optimistic, of course, but if that needs to happen, I feel like people need to come back, and there's like that requires effort, and you've got to come back to put that effort.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I was gonna say like that's kind of like I feel like that's similar in a lot of ways to Trinidad because a lot of people I feel like, especially like people that in more like let's say educational or like specialized fields, like stuff where you have to kind of study for like a while or
mhm,
something, or like you have to go to like specific school. A lot of these people like don't want to come back to Trinidad because one, they're not gonna get paid anywhere close to what they're worth. Like they're gonna just be so severely underpaid. And two is I don't know if Botswana has a similar situation to this. Is just like in Trinidad, like it doesn't even really matter like what your qualifications are because most like 90% of stuff that get done is just through nepotism, plain and simple, to make it any easier. And for anybody that doesn't understand what that means, it just means links. It's like I'm friends with Varsha, and there's a woman that studied law for 20 years, but Varsha's my friend, so forget that lady. She's gonna get the job. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And just because of stuff like this, I don't know, because I feel like it's like an almost never ending cycle because now one, the people that like actually care to change stuff feel like, hopeless. Is like, bro, I'm not gonna get paid, like I'm not gonna get a job. So they wanna leave. And
mhm,
then the people that are promoting this are the ones that are benefiting, so they are the ones that are literally just being recycled in and out of the system. So it's
yeah,
just a system where okay, if you get in, you help your friends. When you get out, so, like you're already out, and then it's
Yeah,
just until you attempt to slip back into, suck the system dry again.
yeah.
So just because of stuff like that, that's why I feel like a lot of people don't want to come back. I don't know if you feel like it's similar in
I agree. And
Botswana.
no, 100% similar thing in Botswana. Like a lot of people who go out, not only are they severely underpaid when they get back to Botswana, firstly, Botswana's unemployment, like youth unemployment rate, is at it just keeps getting higher. Like it just keeps getting
Mm,
higher every year. It's really, really sad. So you have so many graduates who graduate, who come back, or even in Botswana, like people who study in Botswana and then graduate and then want to get a job. But where's the job? There's no, and not just that, for a lot of people who study abroad and then come back, or like people that the
mm,
government sponsors to go and study abroad and come back, yeah, you're underpaid, but also sometimes there's no job market for you.
mm-hmm.
There's no job market for you, so you're going to go spend 6 years to go study a degree to come back and realize that actually no one needs you in that country. Your skills are not needed. So like what do you do? Like people are trying to find other kinds of jobs, like like it's tough, like it's really, really difficult. And if unless you've got the contacts, and I agree with you on this, like Botswana is the exact same as Trini in the sense that the people who know each other, and they will keep on helping each other and putting each other on. I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing. Listen, there are advantages that can come out of it, but at the same time, when you're going to prioritize nepotism over skill, that's a whole other conversation that needs, you know what I mean? Because then that's
Yeah,
unfair. Then that's just
yeah.
unfair. And yeah, so it is. I totally see that. Is that the case in Trinidad where people come back and they're like, actually, Trini doesn't need, I don't know, a mining engineer, like, or like,
Most most definitely, bro. But even like I don't know, like I feel like even more than just getting jobs that like you don't need is like they would use your job so inefficiently. It's like you could study engineering, and they will come and they'll have you like fixing shelves. You feel me? Like they'll literally like give you like the simplest vision
yeah.
of your job. I mean, I obviously I can't talk for the job market entirely because I haven't even really been in a job market like that.
Hmm.
But I just know, from hearing people's experiences and stuff like that, like especially people that are doing like stuff like engineering, like those kind of fields, like a lot of them I would say would feel very underpaid in Trinidad, like especially compared to away. And even like I think even more than the just the underpay is like the fact that the like the cost of living is not even is like you could barely even support the cost of living, with the average wage, the average wage. I saw something on Facebook not too long ago where they were saying like the average wage, like for someone that like was skilled or like finished university or whatever, is like around 5,000 like TT dollars a month or something like this, right? It just it's just a whole next conversation. But and then they were basically like just going through like the prices of like average rent and stuff like that. Like like most basic places to rent is like around $2,000. You feel that's already like basically half of your entire salary, and then there's all the like utilities and stuff. And they were just basically showing that how with the most like with the average, like not even like like lower or higher, like just the typical average like wage in Trinidad is like most people would not would be basically living month to month. It's like you can't live in any kind of serious like a way that you could like be comfortable and take care of your family. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I see that.
But I feel like also another thing is I feel like another reason why people like our age I feel like are getting more and more frustrated, especially than the older people. I don't know if the older people even see this, but like I feel like it's getting harder and harder to like not to live, but like to actually own stuff and like like what your worth actually like. I feel like we like our worth is getting lower and lower and lower, as we move on generally. Like because like I was thinking about this, right? Like someone said like in the like around the 60s or the 70s or something. I think this example is more for America than like like third world countries or anything. But even America is a fine enough example. It was like the average like the most plain like average like prop like middle class, not even like high middle class. It's like regular family, like with one person working in the house,
Yeah.
with just like one person working in your house, you could afford to, send all your kids to school, have, in more than enough meals every day. Like most people could afford to go on vacation, even if it's not to the next country, to like a next state or something, at least once or twice a year or something. People used to be able to pay to go, like pay for themselves to go to university, with their money from their job or something. There ain't no job you could work before university in 2020 to go to university. And if you're making that money, you're not gonna go to university. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But like, yeah, they could have been able to pay for their university, all these kind of stuff, and it's like, even like I feel like people our age is like, even something like owning a house is not a simple reality. That like it's like getting a house is hard. Like it's
Yeah.
hard. It's expensive. It's
Yeah.
expensive. Like like
And not
owning a house is
like
not.
I remember so recently, not recently, this is by recent I mean like 2 years ago, I watched a documentary at the NZ Film Festival that was based off of a book that's written by an economist called Thomas Piketty. It's called Capital in the 21st Century. And the entire movie just talks about how, like, after that entire movie, I came out thinking, wow, like, what am I studying for? What am I living for? What am I working for? Like, I know money's never been the goal. Like money's not the goal. I'm not trying to be a billionaire. You know what I mean? But I want to
Yeah.
be. I want to be able to be comfortable. I want to be able to provide. I want to be able to give. A little bit at least. Like money's not the goal, but at least. But that movie was like people because this is the rich keep getting richer in the sense that money stays within money. Like people who have money, like it's
Yeah.
it's a pool of circle. And it talks about how like now they live a life where some of them don't even have to work because the concept of making money is so you can become more rich just because you're rich now. Like that's the world we live.
Yeah,
You
easy,
know,
easy,
and
easy.
and like and you think about it and you're like, but you're already rich, why would you want to be more rich? Like but that's the world we live in. And so easily in countries like Botswana and Trinidad where you've got a certain population that's walked in, stepped foot, has laid the plans, who else is going to take over them? It's going to be their kids, their family friends' kids. It's like it's a family chain and that never gets broken away. So like how do you go about that? Like is is
It,
nepotism huge in Trinidad?
oh my, what? What?
My God.
Bro, there ain't any other way to get a job in Trinidad, bro. There ain't any other way to get a job in Trinidad unless you're selling fruits on the highway. Bro, what? You could have you could have every qualification, honestly. If someone else knows the right person is over, it doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter. Let me tell you something. I'm not trying to get. I'm not gonna go too much into this because this is a low-key and next topic, and I don't really want to creep into that topic too much.
Mhm.
But I'll put it plain and simple. Like there are white kids in Trinidad, or not even exclusively white. When I say white, I mean people from Trinidad will know what I'm talking about. There's a certain population of people, like that live in certain places, and they do certain things. You don't necessarily have to be white, but that's why I'm gonna just call it for
A
simplification.
certain economic class in Trinidad, yeah.
A certain lifestyle, yeah, like the Jenners and them, the Kylie Jenners and them in Trinidad, yeah, those people, they go to school for fun, bro. They go to school to make friends. It doesn't matter what they
It
do in
doesn't
school.
matter. Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't matter what the fuck they good, bro. They go to school for fun, bro. It's like, I don't want to stay home all day. I want to go to school, chill with my friends, bro. I want to go to school, play football, bro. They could get zero in every. They could go sleep in every fucking exam, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because of who their family is, who their parents know, all these kind of stuff. It really does not matter.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's just I feel like it's not even this is not even like a secret, bro. It's like a very I feel like it's almost a bold, obvious thing in society, bro. Like people, like I feel like people that they also at the same time try to downplay it. They don't really understand like the depth that it goes to. You feel
Yeah.
people are like, oh well, if you go to school and study your school books, you'll be like that. It's like not really, bro, not really, because that, bro, I promise you did better than those guys in school, bro. Those guys didn't give a fuck about school.
It's true.
But yeah,
It's
so
true.
I can't remember what was the point you told me that got us to there, like for me to say that. But
Because I was asking about nepotism. The thing is, I don't think people understand how it's like, yes, you've got this kind of situation exists everywhere all over the world, but in smaller countries like Botswana and Trini, it's way more obvious, one, because the population is way smaller, and so the wealth gap, there's not even the wealth gap, there's no wealth distribution. That's the thing, there's no wealth distribution, and the
ah,
governments are doing nothing about it. That's what's even more annoying, right? Like,
the governments are distributing the wealth to themselves.
yeah.
Yeah, they bro, they're probably watching this like, what you mean no distribution? I got my cut. What distribution, bro? Yo, I got distributed. My cousin got distributed. My auntie got distributed, bro. What you talk to them, bro? What you talking about? Maybe your people didn't get none, but we chilling across here.
Okay,
This is weird.
let's talk about, okay, because we brought up money in the government. On a scale from 1 to 10, how corrupt do you think Trini is? Trini government.
12.
12. Okay.
But no, but to be fair, I'll say, let me give some context for that. I will rate a country like America like 15. So that's like a some context.
Okay.
The lowest I would rate any government, at least that I know of, is like a 8. I
7
don't think any government can
or 8.
go
Yeah,
like
I see
a
that.
7 if you read like I don't know, maybe I have to do some research. I could find a 7. But
Yeah, yeah,
I'd say yeah. But yeah, is to me honestly is a joke, bro. It's honest. Like I feel like the government of Trinidad has more or less just more not the government has accepted. The people have accepted that the government think they're stupid. That's really and truly my take. Like Trinidadians are known and we very pride ourselves on the fact that we always having a good time here. God is a Trinidad. It's always a good time. We always having fun. Everybody's lively, drinking, partying. Yeah, this, that, the third. And then it's like, yes, I love all those stuff about Trinidad, but it's like I feel like honestly, I feel like some people kind of are like that to I don't know. It's not because they can't accept the fact the way how Trinidad is, but like it's to have them really continue and love Trinidad, like the way how they are, like to have their attachment to the country,
yeah,
like that because Trinidadian culture is like is a very nice culture to be in, like for the most part, like some aspects of it.
yeah,
And I feel like a lot of people like that feeling, especially like the community feeling this that
yeah,
carnival, yeah, everybody this is that, but really and truly, if anyone is to really sit down and have any kind of critical thinking about the dynamics in Trinidad, is not as unified, is not as love and peace and happiness and joy as people, tend to want to believe it is.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that.
And you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because of this, that's why I feel like the government feels the people are stupid and like they treat the people of Trinidad like they are stupid.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that's how I feel. They treat the people of Trinidad like they are stupid. Like I've never seen like people complain about how the debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump was so bad. If I saw something like that in Trinidad, I would honestly just clap because we like, wow, they're actually using words to like, try to win people's votes. Like they're actually gonna like, obviously they're lying, but like shit, at least is some better. It's like, I don't know if I told you this before, but like for the last elections, which was this election here in 2020, right? I'm gonna
Right.
give you the timeline of how stuff happened in Trinidad, and like how did people allow this to happen, and like no one said anything about it. To me, is just beyond me. But coronavirus happened, blah blah blah. The
Mhm.
borders closed right in March,
Right.
so I still haven't been able to go back to Trinidad in March, right?
Yeah.
The election was in August, right? It was in August.
Okay.
All this time, when the borders closed, it was like the first lockdown, the very first, like the serious one, and people were actually scared. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like people are staying off the streets, blah, blah, blah. Somehow now August rolls around, it's time for the general elections. Firstly, the political parties. Do you feel like I should give some context on the political parties in Trinidad before I get into this? I feel like I should, low
I
key,
think you should
because
give some context, but don't name drop.
yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna name drop anyone. So
Yeah.
there are two main parties, and let's just say to keep stuff simple, that they basically just play into the idea of identity politics. So one party is designated the party for like people of East Indian descent, and then one party is designated the people of black descent or whatever, African descent, and it's just like kind of pitting these two things against each other because those are like the two biggest
Ethnicity.
populations,
Yeah.
ethnicities, in Trinidad.
Hmm.
And I guess like everyone else in between will kind of like just fall wherever they fall. It's either you care or you don't care, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's basically like a solidified thing. Like if you're of a certain race, you're almost like this, like it's like almost like if as a Black American, you're like 9 out of 10 times you want to say you're a Democrat kind of thing.
Hmm.
And like if you're not, people are gonna look at you like like what's wrong with you
Yeah.
kind of thing, like you traitor kind of thing. And is you literally playing into that same narrative and like using those same things against Trinidadian people.
Yeah.
Despite that being bad enough, and that's literally how they've been promoting politics for my entire life.
Mhm.
Now this year they decided to use songs like Trinidad songs, and then like to give you an idea of how ridiculous this is like, you know, how, let's say, people would criticize rappers and say like, oh, like these rappers are misogynistic, they're promoting these kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And then, it's like having NBA Youngboy perform at the inauguration,
Yeah.
like something like that. It's like, wait, so you were just like saying like these people actually cause of all the problems in society,
Hmm.
and now you're using their songs to get people to vote for you. Like it's so many layers to that. When I was like, the first time I saw this, because there were songs on both sides, literally songs and dances they were using, right?
Yeah.
And they were like paraded in the streets. They were like, literally like they'd have a truck play music and have people like going behind them in the street.
Yeah.
Firstly, what happened to all those coronavirus restrictions? Isn't this why it's been how much, 12, 11 months now since I've
Yeah.
been
It's
locked.
about to be a year. Yeah. Go
No,
on.
I've been outside of Trinidad for a year, but it's been 11 months now since I first tried to come back.
Hmm.
March was when I first tried to come back. It's February right now. That's 11
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's not even the point. The point is they literally like they're using a party, they're using a dance, they're using music to get people to vote for them. So they are telling you like, you listen, right? You are too dumb for me to give you a reason for me to vote for you. So I'm just gonna play something, you're gonna like it, and because you like it, you're gonna vote for me. It's
Wow.
like honestly, one, that should be mega majorly illegal. Like the fact that that shit is legal is a whole nother trip in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you're literally telling people like you are too stupid to understand any kind of actual manifesto laws, like propositions, fucking anything. So just listen to these songs instead.
Mm-hmm.
Three is literally taking advantage of like these artists, right? So, like they are literally now creating their own genre. Like it was the music industry in Trinidad was not even accepting of these people. Like they literally had to create their own lane in the industry. Like people had to start listening to their songs in the street so much that the radio had no choice but to play it.
To play them,
You
right?
feel me, right? These are the people that people are making think piece about and say, oh, you can't complain about the crime in Trinidad if you're promoting this kind of music because these are the ones that are using the music to promote this, and when they make money from the music, they're gonna use it to buy more guns and bring more guns and crime into the country. And then those are the people you have making songs for, like literally you have little kids dancing to these songs and saying, yeah, like oh, like bro, like that is literally brainwashing. Like
That's
you
kind
cannot
of messed up
call
when
that
you say it.
anything but brainwashing. I'm sorry.
That's
And like Trinidadian people, listen to me. The government thinks y'all are stupid. They literally brainwash y'all. They brainwash y'all. If you are any person that actually cares about anything in Trinidad, what information did you get that made you want to support either of these parties, bro? It was simply the same thing as America, bro. It's like, wow, this one party was like really horrible. This next one is just a little bit less horrible. Let's go champion this. No, this, and then they're like promoting the slightly less horrible thing as, oh, this is the savior, this is da 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 da. Like, bro, no, he still used songs, bro. He has people dance. He didn't even say anything. He didn't say I'm gonna do this, bro. He just made a song.
yeah.
Right footstep, left footstep. Like, bro, what? Oh, what does that have to do with voting, bro? Like, what does me stepping my right foot have to do with your policies, bro? What does that have to do with anything, bro?
Wow. And
And that's the kind of thing, bro. It's like we are such a happy-go-lucky, yeah, everything is a good time in Trinidad, bro. They think y'all are stupid, bro. They just think that y'all gonna just enjoy your time, and y'all might be upset for 2 weeks, and then it's done. Y'all are gonna go back to saying, yeah, it's a good time. God is a Trinity. This, that. The next thing happen, okay, let's just be quiet for 2 weeks. People are gonna get over it. Like, no, bro. Y'all have to not take this shit, bro. Like literally, that shit is poor, bro. Like poor. Like it's just I was honestly so sad when I saw that shit, bro. I'm like, wow, bro. As a country, we are so not serious about ourselves that we have to come to making fucking songs. Not even like this song was even saying anything about, like, okay, a song about a policy or nothing, bro. No, it's literally just saying a song saying vote for me. That's all these songs says. Vote for me.
right. Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm sorry, bro. As a nation, we have to do better than that, bro. Like literally, they are trying to say to us, like, y'all are stupid, bro. Like we don't care. Like, y'all might be mad, but y'all are stupid. That's what they're saying as a country.
Mm.
Like, I don't know, as someone outside the country, how you look at that, but that's literally how I felt, bro. I'm like, the government thinks the people of this country are stupid and they don't care about anything.
Yeah. It's so crooked and so twisted when you think about it because like I said this before as well, like you've got these songs. By the way, these songs are on YouTube. Those who want to go listen to them. They're genuine bops, like
They slap low key, but still.
I mean, like genuinely, like I mean, Akil's right. So you go to vote, you got the music playing in the background, and you're like, actually, I kind of feel like stepping my left foot today, so I'm gonna go vote for the left side. You know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid. Like, it's true. It's true. It's true. And you know what it is? This is just propaganda. This is hardcore propaganda, but propaganda to the extent where you're right. This big like song that they've released with this artist and getting kids to dance to this and making like I don't think people understand that there are music videos they shot for this, like there are music videos, okay? Like people went and performed and like it was a whole thing. They made music videos for this. It's on YouTube. Like it's crazy to think about.
Actually, Varsha, I won't lie, you low-key sparked an next fuse in me there because I just remembered something about these music videos. These motherfuckers think y'all are so stupid, bro. Honestly, I just thought about this, right? Y'all have been inside for the last 6 months. They are telling you, even if you are born in this country, even if you live in this country, even if you just left on vacation, you cannot come back, bro. Wherever you are, you just stay there, chill, bro. That is their message, right? Then, like most countries I know, even if they aren't in international travel, you could apply somehow to come back. You know, if you're from there, if you live there, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna talk about their process, bro. Like, forget that. Like, but all this happened, right? Y'all are inside your houses and you let these people come. No social distancing, no mask, like big groups of people walking down, singing your songs, and you're not gonna come on your gate and be like, yeah, ooh, and then next week they're gonna come and say, "Oh, there's been a spike in coronavirus, like cases." I wonder why, bro. I wonder why there's a like. Seeing that you and your whole party just walk down the road, 35 people deep, no social distancing, dancing to your stupid song, and
Yeah.
and like we as a country are accepting this, bro. Like that is what's really frustrating me, bro. It's like why are we like these people are literally telling us that we are stupid, bro? Like that's the message I've been getting, bro. Like y'all are stupid, y'all don't actually care about shit, so just deal with it.
Yeah.
Just deal. It's like this. Sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
Listen,
go on.
because I wanted to transition to something else. Like Loki, I wanted to get back into the government. Right? It's like this man. I'm not gonna say his name. Anyway, he there was a case where he literally had to like leave the US because he was a FIFA vice president and he stole a bunch of money. Like he was corrupt. He like literally was involved in some ways in the whole thing with the Qatar World Cup and the whole jazz behind that. Like, he was heavily involved in this, right?
Yeah.
This man was a politician in
Mm.
Trinidad. He came back to Trinidad. And let me tell you something, bro. People like there are people in Trinidad that respect him heavily, bro. Like, he came back and had a successful political career. After this happened, after this happened, like he was in government. He was acting prime minister at times. After this happened, bro. And like we as a country are letting this shit happen, bro. And like I'm like the more I really and truly think about this, I'm like, bro, there's no way I could be the only person in Trinidad. I'm 23 years old, bro. Like there's no like this didn't start 10 years ago. This didn't start 5 years ago, bro. Like if I am this pressed and this heated, like I'm like, bro, these people, like I found it out, bro. Like I literally woke up on my bed. I was like, that's it, bro. The reason why is they think we're stupid. Like they're just gonna continue treating us like we're stupid until we tell them, like, bro, get the fuck out of here. We're not stupid. Like this is not gonna work, bro. We're not gonna accept this shit. But until we actually get serious enough to accept that, they're gonna keep treating us like we're stupid.
I have a question for you because obviously the trend is less and less people care about politics, right? Like less and less people care enough about politics to know about policies. No, 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 no. You know what I mean? Like less and less people care. In Trinidad, have you noticed over the years less and less people go to vote?
I mean, I feel like I am not necessarily the best person to say this because I also left Trinidad like I left when I turned 18, so I've actually never been old enough to vote in Trinidad, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm.
So
No, but
most
that's
people I know, to be honest, most people I know don't vote. Most people I know don't vote, you feel me? But I that's also not fair because I only surround myself with certain types of people, if that makes sense, you feel me?
no, I get what you're saying, but like I'm saying, like your situation is different. Listen, if the Trinidadian government, like some other governments, when
I
they elections,
what
you
I'm trying to
put in your vote. You can't do that in Trinidad, can you?
wait, say that again.
Like some governments, if you can mail in your vote, even if you're not in the country, as long as you have a passport. but you can't like you. I know you can't.
I'm sure you could do that in Trinidad. I never cared to do it. I'm like, bro, I don't want to choose either of you over. I don't care. I'm like, both of y'all
Like
are shitty.
either way, it's different. Like you've been away from the country for a little while, but I'm just saying in general, like in Trinidad, like do you see a pattern of less and less that people vote? Because the reason I'm asking is in Botswana, like the last election, I swear less than 50% of the population voted. So how is that a democratic country if not even everybody voted?
Yeah, less than 50%. Yeah, that's actually mad though. Like, should anyway. Let me not get distracted. Your question, honestly, I feel like I really genuinely cannot give a accurate answer
Okay.
because yeah, I feel like I want to say in general, I feel like old people care about voting more just because they're like, well, if you don't vote, you can't complain about what's going on. If you don't vote, then you have no say. It's like, bro, you voted. Are you happy with the country? You voted. You said that. You said if you don't vote, you have no say. As the person that voted, how is the country going? As the person that voted, do you get what you wanted? No,
Mm.
he didn't. So that's why I feel like. But anyway, that's also me getting distracted. But I want to say I feel like old people feel more than anything that you have to vote
Okay.
if you want. Yeah.
I
But
think
yeah,
okay, I do think you have to vote. Like there's no point in discussing how you want political change and how you want the governments to change. Listen, it's a different issue when there's no option at all to say all these parties are shit. Like at the end of the day, like right now, it's always gonna be vote for the less worst party. Like that's the situation everywhere, low key. But at the end of the day, like we've created a system where a government's going to be elected, and I feel
I
like not voting creates more of a it contributes more to the problem than actually voting and not having your voice heard.
I won't lie to you. I strongly disagree with that, and I wanna say why though because I genuinely believe the opposite, which is in like a country like in Trinidad. I feel like the only thing anything could change is if no one was to vote. Like if literally no one in the country is to vote. But that's something like that is also not
And then
realistic to
what?
like
And then what happens?
listen to could you let me finish what I was gonna say. But yeah, definitely that's very unrealistic. But so let me ask you something as someone that believes I've lived in Trinidad the first 18 years of my life back to back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I won't lie to you, for almost my entire childhood, like the government will change every single time. So it would be the main party. So let's put it in a way everyone can understand. It would be like Democrats, Republicans, Democrats, Republicans, Democrats,
Right.
Republicans, Democrats, Republicans. Firstly, almost my entire life, almost all the politicians have been the same. Almost all of them have been the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost all of them have been the same people.
Okay.
Secondly, if I'm seeing for my entire life that literally is going back, like literally like from one party to the next party to one party to the next party, those are the only two real options. And in that entire thing, nothing has ever changed. What like I don't even understand what am I supposed to expect from voting next time. Like I would rather start my own party than even go vote. Like, cause I like, what's the point?
How do you
I've
think people
literally seen both options back to back for years on years on years. Like, you can't make change in 5 years, bro. But 10 years, honestly,
No, okay, fine, fine. Listen, I get what you're trying to say. I see that. But like talking about opposition from the mainstream parties, why do you think no opposition has risen to a point where they've gained local support?
because the parties play into identity politics. So once you like 95% of people, like me as a black person, I am almost obligated to vote for this party, bro, because I am going to feel like if I don't vote for them, they're not gonna have my best interest. And that's
I guess
what it is. That's a tug
I
of
guess
war.
I'm trying to
It's
say
just
I get that identity politics, that's majority of the population. They blindly vote. You know, you see an Indian person, so you're going to vote for the Indian because I'm Indian. You see a black person, you're going to vote for the black person because you're black. That's how identity politics works. They play into race, they play into culture, they play into the stereotype. I get it. I'm saying, like, let's say, like, even people who are frustrated in Trinidad, the youth, the activists, the whatever we want to call them, like, has there been any attempt to even try and create an opposition party? If an opposition party was to come, do you think these other two parties would be like chilling and watching and say, yeah, okay, one more person to play the game with? Or are they gonna, what are they gonna do? Like,
Let me tell
because
you what happened last time. Sorry, because all these things are stuff that like Varsha, a lot of stuff have happened. Like like
yeah,
there was a point, right, where in 2010 there were actually 5 parties, right, instead of 2. You know what happened?
what?
The party that was in power at that time, the opposition, right? They created what was it called? Basically, they joined all this, like it's like they
A
joined all
coalition.
the other
They
parties
created
into one party.
yeah,
They a
created a
coalition.
coalition. Yeah,
Yes, they
yeah,
created a coalition, and then after that, all these small parties that were in the coalition, basically none of those parties exist again, and I was back to 2.
yeah,
If you want like the big parties, you just absorb these parties to be like, all right, now we're gonna win, and then they win this fuck all those other parties. Now all of them
yeah,
are gone.
yeah.
There was a third party that came for this election. The guy retired after he was done. I think he joined one of the main parties, but because like it's like the corruption runs so deep,
Wow.
like when they funded, like you have to understand, like these parties are being funded, like these parties are getting campaigns, they're being funded by people, like the people that are powerful and in control of these countries
Hmm.
have agendas.
Yeah.
Like they're not just being corrupt for themselves, like you have to also understand that they have agendas, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like these powerful people kind of want certain stuff to be certain ways.
Hmm.
So it's like you could try. Like I've seen people been trying,
Yeah.
but the only way something for real is gonna happen is like if there's literally like an organized effort. Like my message to people trying, I was like, is not gonna change by just taking on one person. Just is literally going to have to take serious and hard sacrifice. You feel what I'm saying? If you want anything in the country to change, it's not going to change by just changing this party, or I'm going to vote them out, or let's take out the old people, because you'll just get young people to fit their agenda, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like money buys so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, basically that is, to me, is gonna take like literally like a new kind of movement, and it's gonna have like people have to understand there's not gonna be like a weekend thing. There's not gonna be like, or I just show up one day in the savannah and I wave a protest banner. Like all these stuff, I'm not invalidating, not saying like don't do these stuff. These stuff are very important,
Yeah.
but like the kind of change you want to see, like people understand like these stuff are not surface level stuff you chip away at. Like these are stuff deep in. It's like deep in, and that's why it lasts so long, because it's not the people, it's the system. The
Yeah.
people are replaceable. You could put whoever you want, bro, but once that these stuff are set up like this, it's going to continue being like this. You feel
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's really how I feel, and I have nothing close to anywhere close to any of the answers, and I feel like I don't even know anywhere close to as much as I need to know. Like I've not been in the country that much in the last 5-6 years.
Yes. Yeah. True.
So, but that doesn't mean I don't see. That doesn't mean that it's not there. All these stuff I'm talking about is very true. It's
Very much
very
consistent. Yeah.
obvious. You know what
100%.
I'm saying? Like I don't need to be in Trinidad to tell you these stuff are happening.
Oh no,
So
100% not. Like, you obviously have friends and family who are consistently being affected by this on a day-to-day basis. So, like, you don't need to be there. Yeah, no, I get that. It's interesting that, like, no opposition party. I have to say, Trini is way more corrupt than what I perceived, what I thought we were going to talk about, in all honesty, because it's the way the foundation system has been built, right? Like the whole foundation is the problem. So you built on this foundation it's not durable. It's not durable because it's not favoring the population in a right way. But I have a question for you. Like, let's talk about censorship. Because, okay, actually, there are two things I want to say. First on, like in Botswana, like the major party, like the last, like about 3 elections ago, created a special intelligence service. Okay, like this is a special designated intelligence service that basically monitors literally everybody, like and it like specifically monitors people that the party wants to monitor, you know, using services in the country, using public services in the country, you know, like, and doing arrests, you know, doing like people will all of a sudden vanish. And this is not on a like a day, on a like, yeah, every day, like 20 something people vanish. No, but prominent people, radio hosts who say stuff on the radio, are put into prison, you know, like journalists gone, activists who wanted to like say something against the government, not taking action about something, get, you know, up in prison for a couple of hours, like, so like things that, you know what I mean, like they are doing stuff to create a sense of fear as well, and in a way they're targeting people who are outspoken. So outspoken, and what happens when you target people that are outspoken? You're censoring the any opposite opinion to what you want the opinion to be. And
um
it's not getting there. Like in Trinidad, is that the case? Like, do a lot of people who speak up, like what happens to them?
I won't even say there's censorship, bro. And like this how disrespectful the government is. I don't even think the government feels like they need to censorship, bro. Let me tell you what happens, right? Someone will complain about something, someone will say something
Mhm.
like about anything. Like let's say there's been a lot of complaints about police and these kind of stuff recently.
Yeah.
And the person would just basically get up there and deflect and be like basically like no, like it's not true. And then like I've seen it so many times where like the reporter will basically like say something where the politician or whoever is talking literally can't even respond, bro. Like they know they've been caught, bro. It's like, yeah, like fuck you got me now. Like I can't say shit about this.
Mm-hmm.
And they would just like stammer around it and like they don't even try like it's like they don't even try to hide these kind of things, you know. It's just like, yeah, I don't really have an answer for that, but that's tough for you. You know, kind of situation. Like that's how I see it. And I don't know, like cause I've been like, you know, like noticing more and more activists kinda, but I've only seen a few ones that are like serious, you know, like serious on it, you know, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't say they're necessarily censored, like literally just ignored more or less, bro. Like people just like, okay, cool, like and just ignore them,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
more than anything. So yeah.
The what is it called? The government has the confidence that they'll never gain that much support to create a difference or to cause like a sense of chaos. But I think that's where the government's kind of wrong, because if more and more people start talking about the shit, and with the way you can use your social media platforms, you know, with the way you can go about things to like vocalize, even just vocalizing. The thing is, like, how many people in Trini on a regular talk about politics?
Um.
Like, didn't you just say
Okay, a lot of people talk about politics in a very shallow and not even surface, like
exactly,
beyond surface level, bro. It's not even touching the surface, like floating
exactly,
above the surface
exactly?
kind of level, you know. So,
That's because how many people know about politics? That's my second question. Like, when I say know about politics, like, how many people actually know, like, you know, how their government is elected, like who voting for who does what? This party is pro what policy, how does the bill, like, do you know what I mean? This
Yeah.
is supposed to be general knowledge, but I swear
Yeah.
to you, like, it's a single digit number percentage that knows this, you know?
Uh,
And
if
that
if
is also another problem.
if it's above like 2%, bro, 2% might even be
2% is even
100%.
too much, I think.
Might even be too much, bro. Like let's hope for 1%, man. We'll hope for 1%. But yeah, what was the exact what was the exact question again? What about that?
Oh no, just about how, like, because there's no
Like,
education.
how many people
People
know?
don't know their
Yeah,
people don't know their
definitely,
so how many people talk about
definitely.
politics on a day-to-day basis? Not that many. So you don't have that many vocalizing to an extent where enough people are talking about it to actually gain a sense of understanding. You can only understand things if you talk about things and you realize, okay, there are other people who also think this way. Let's talk about this more. Let's look at it from a different perspective. Let's question it. That's not happening on a deeper level, right? Like critical thinking. That's the thing. We were talking about this, like critical thinking. How many people are sitting and critically thinking about their politics and about where Trinidad's future is going to be? Like, if everybody's always on, yeah, like we're Trini, it's good, life's great. Then the 2 weeks we stress about politics, then it, like, life's good again. No one's talking about this to an extent, and that's why I think, like, like in Trinidad, if you're an activist, like, do it, vocalize, because you'll be surprised as to how much
Yeah.
people actually may agree, because people are frustrated.
Varsha, I agree with you, but I feel like they're gonna have to do. It's gonna take more work than that. Let me tell you something, right? I This is not to like toot my own horn or like whatever. Like when I was going to school, like a lot of teachers and whatever will call me like people used to think I was smart basically. Like I used to do good in school without necessarily having to kill myself about it. Like I just used to understand like certain stuff easily.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I've actually never learned how Trinidad governments worked ever, like at any point.
Wow.
That was even like now that you're thinking about it, like it's actually mad to me that like why do we not learn that, bro? Like we should be learning that, like literally.
Wow.
I have no
You
idea.
should
I
know.
have
You
no
should
idea.
know how your government works.
I've never learned that ever in my life, bro. Never. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've never even thought that. Wow, that is something I should know, like how it works, right? Like, you feel me, right? And that's someone like me now.
Yeah.
Imagine the average guy out there now. Not to say I'm anything above anyone else,
Yeah, no.
but
But we just
yeah,
classified you above average.
that's one part of it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, what? No, but that's the thing, right? Like, this entire situation needs to be
Uh,
attacked from different angles. It needs to be attacked from different angles, because if we're just thinking, oh, we need to wait for the revolution, we need to wait for the revolution, we need to, like, okay, we'll just keep waiting. We'll just keep waiting, and they can just keep playing their games, and we'll all just become poorer and poorer. There's no healthcare system, no one has jobs. Like, that's just what's going to happen, right? Like, the entire thing needs to be attacked from different perspectives, from different systems, from like different ways. And education is one of the biggest ways. If people know how their government works, they should have more active interest in understanding why their government works the way they works. And now, see, if people were frustrated and they knew why they were frustrated exactly and what the problem was, it would be a lot easier to fix. But
see, yeah, I agree with that, but you see, I feel like the problem is like people's understanding of the situation. It's a lot of ignorance, basically. Like the
yeah.
government has left the people ignorant. You feel me? And I
Mm,
feel like people don't even understand, the levels and the layers that this shit really goes down to. You feel what I'm
yeah.
saying? To
Yeah.
me, I feel like it is like a big part, almost entirely, to do with education and the way how we are socialized, as people. But not to get into that too much, it's literally like ignorant, like Varsha. I did not even know what left wing and right wing was until 2015.
No.
And when I thought, and then when I found out what left wing and right wing was, I had to think for so like, cause I was outside of Trinidad at the time, right? And I was like, which party in Trinidad is left wing, which one is right wing? And I was thinking, right? And then I came back home and I was talking with my mom. I was like, Mom, like, like I've been learning about this left wing and right wing thing recently, and like I just like I can't tell the difference, like which one in Trinidad will be the left wing one. And she's like, Trinidad has no left wing parties. All Trinidad has right wings. We just have extreme right wing and a little bit less right wing. And people don't even understand what that means. The average person in Trinidad, if you ask them what that was to mean, they would not be able to tell you that.
They wouldn't. This
What
is
I'm saying. And
yeah,
that's not even this anybody, like I literally did not know that, bro. And I was considered, like one of the smarter people, blah 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 blah. And like that was literally like cracking my skull to understand at 18 years old.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
When I left the country, if you I even had to leave the country to gain this information. I had to get opportunity most people would not be able to get. Feel what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
for these concepts to now start making sense to me.
yeah.
So it's literally like the ignorance to that level, and it's no fault of the people. It's just the fault of the system, and it's kind of mad to me because school in Trinidad is free. Like like kids go for free. Like kids be only like 2 years ago they started making anybody pay for university. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Right.
even if like you can't afford it, like you'll be able to get like certain help or whatever. But like up until like 2 3 years, bro, it didn't matter who you were, bro. Your dad could be owning half of the island. You go to school for university for free. If you know what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like that shit like that is like
Wow.
yeah, I feel like to me the big problem is education.
It is
Like
education. Because if you
education.
change, because knowledge is power here, right? Like with politics, with specifically with politics, the thing people don't understand is knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you can actually understand and question and try rectify. If the people of Trinidad do not know their own political parties, what their histories are, what they each time they try to elect themselves and they campaign and run, what their policies are, what changes are they trying to make, what are they trying to implement. You have to ask these questions and you have to try and find these answers, because if you don't know these answers, they have the power over you more than you having the power of making the decision that you need to be making. So specifically with politics, knowledge is genuinely power. And how can you achieve this knowledge? Through information which was only could have been accessible through education, but that education did not happen. So now it's time for everybody to learn. Now it's time for everybody to learn. You're frustrated, start learning about your politics.
I think even more than learning, this is gonna be a gem actually. Wow, bro.
Oh,
Anyway, even more than learning, and this doesn't go for Trinidad alone.
okay, go.
Globally, a lot of people need to do a lot of unlearning.
Unlearning, I know, yeah.
Unlearning, I think there's a lot of unlearning that needs to be done before any learning can be
I agree.
really
I agree.
actually understood.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people kind of attach themselves to concepts, stuff they learned or whatever, not to get too philosophical.
Yeah.
But a lot of people need to kind of
Detach.
take a little step back, detach, remove yourself, remove your personal emotions, remove your personal experiences as much as you could from the situation, and
Yeah.
kind of look at it for what it really is,
Yeah.
And certain things don't happen as a coincidence over and over and over and over and over again. These stuff are not
Correct.
coincidental. These
Correct.
stuff are a result of the system. These stuff were quote unquote set up like this, even not dire, even not if not exactly like that. That directory, that trajectory
Yeah.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
predetermined. If you feel what I'm saying,
100%. I feel that.
and just a result. But yeah, that kind of reminded me of this like, cause. Gosh, a lot of China is just going crazy right now. Like the real reason why they're having protests like these last few weeks is a lot to do with like I want to put a trigger warning because actually like I realize it's important, but this has to do with like domestic abuse, violence, um,
Mm-hmm.
rape,
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
these, these kind of subjects, and basically there's a latest victim of like a really just disgusting and it's actually hard to talk about. It actually really is hard to talk about. But long story short, her name was Andrea Barrett, rest in peace. She got kidnapped
Power.
and
Rest in power.
yeah, rest in fuck, bro, fuck. Anyway, yeah, so she got kidnapped and she like a week later, like the country was like kind of like because the way she got kidnapped too, right? So she got kidnapped because she got into a taxi, right? And in
Okay.
Trinidad, like the way all taxis work is not like, for example, like it would be like a red car and those are the taxis, It's like all you have to identify a taxi is the number plate.
Right. Is
And
it a
if the
different
police
color?
starts, huh?
Is it a different
No,
color?
no. Literally, it's just the number plates. Like regular cars, the number plate starts with P. Taxi, the number plate starts with a H. H is for hired.
Okay, okay.
Despite that being a thing, like there are a lot of P cars. Like for example, me, I could be driving one day and I could decide like I want to do some drops. Like I want to make some quick bread and I could go. I could just go there and people get my cars a taxi now. Like there's
Right.
a P.
Yeah.
Like yeah. But anyway, like people again kind of worry about the PH kind of thing because all these kind of stuff. But this girl, she got into a H taxi
Okay.
and then she got in with her friend after work
Okay.
and they dropped her friend off and then they kidnapped her, right? And then the police come to find out that like the plates, the number plates they had were fake or whatever. And long story short, like a week later, like she was found like in this kind of area and like I don't want to go too much into these like gruesome details, but the incompetence that happened in this entire situation was just mad. It's like the police, firstly, they had some suspects. They killed one of the people that was a suspect, right? He died in police custody. The
Wow.
police didn't tell the people. He died on a Monday. The police didn't release that to the media till Wednesday.
Wow.
That's kind of sketch, right?
That is, yeah.
Then
Of course.
then there was a person who's on bail. This man was allowed to walk with bail after having 70, not 17, not 70 as in 70
Mm-hmm.
charges of sexual assault against him in Trinidad and Tobago. Like how do you even get 70 charges, bro? How could they let you out after even having 70 charges?
He's walking
And then how
around
do
in
you
civil
get bail after
society.
that?
No.
What?
I said,
Like
how
after
walking
then,
around
bro,
in
after
civil society, that's on the system. How the fuck are you walking around in civil society? Like, how are they letting you reintegrate with the community? 70. I don't think people understand. 7 fucking 0.
bro, even after like five is madness, bro. Five is like something you need to be kind of I'm not gonna get into prison, but five you need to be, you can't just be having that person out like that, like
Not
even
even
if
like, it's not even the numbers for me. Like 70 is like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, but like 5, 1, 3, 4, whatever it is, this is the thing. Clearly, what does this show you about the system? It shows you that this dude, even after 70 rape cases against him, he was walking around in civil society and he reoffended 71 times, clearly 71 times. But what did the community do about it? Not even the community, what did the police do about it? And there's no rehabilitation, there's no discussion about this. And why wasn't this public knowledge? You know how sexual offenders, if they live in your neighborhood in certain areas, you should know. You should know because you should, like, it's unfair. It's unfair to be raising your kids in such a neighborhood. It's unfair to be raising women, men. Everybody's vulnerable, and especially if there's no rehabilitation. Now, for somebody who's had 70 cases against them, this is not even like, oh, like I'm doing something wrong. This person confidently knows what he's doing and moves around and functions in society, the police have still done nothing. That says so much. That says so much about the system.
Let me tell you something, because when you, so they've had a sex offenders registry, right, that the government currently digitized, because apparently in 2020 and 2021 is no the government is deciding to
Wow.
digitize stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this podcast could easily be 10 hours long if I had the time. If
No,
I had it,
100%.
I could go
100%.
on.
No,
But
but
anyway, let's not get too much.
specifically on this topic of rape and gender-based violence and the fucking femicide that's happening in the world. And as somebody who was raised in Southern Africa, which has one of the most highest reported rape cases in the world, like in Botswana, 6 women get like raped on the daily, and like so many people get murdered on the daily, but majority of the people that get abused and murdered are all women. Like this conversation could go on for years, years, but
But
we'll
yeah,
save it for another episode.
what I wanted
Go
to
on.
say that is because the sex offenders registry that they put up since last year,
Mm-hmm.
it's empty. It's empty. There's not one name on it. Not one name.
What the
No,
fuck?
no, not one name. Not one. Not one name. Not one name, bro. Not one name. Not one name on it, bro. Not even this guy, bro. You telling me 70 charges and your name can't even be put on this, bro? Like, it's not even like he's free and his name is on this, bro. It's like he's free and like, bro, when they first reported it, they didn't even post the guy's picture. They didn't post the guy's picture on in the news, bro. They didn't. They didn't post his picture or his name. It's like, are they trying to protect this guy? And yeah, but
That's just
anyway,
so
just
messed up
a
on so many levels.
yeah, and so what I'm saying this is because this also ties into the education thing, you know. It's like after this stuff happened, now the media houses, right, the newspapers are coming, posting articles. And I know you're gonna get triggered by this already, so just
Okay.
listen to what I'm saying. They're posting articles.
Mm-hmm.
How to be what is it saying? As like telling women how to be safe from predators. And is this I no listen, right? I saw the title right, and I was like, bro, this is some bullshit, bro. I read the article. It was, I swear to God, this is the longest news article I've ever read from a Trinidad news source. But I swear it was over like 25 points telling women stuff like, yeah, like although your clothes might be stylish or flashy, try not to wear them out because you don't want to attract the wrong attention. um Always make sure to take a picture of the car you're getting in before you this like, bro, what? So wait, so like when I read the article, I was like, so you're telling me your solution to this is like you're literally asking for these women, like okay, I'm gonna get into why this is so bad thing, but like even if we're like to try to consider your point, right?
Yeah.
So the ones that are doing the raping, the killing, whatever, it's not even only men, but let's say abusers, whatever. Let's I don't want to get too technical right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. They're the ones, they can move however they could, pull up whatever. But me, just because I'm a woman, I have to basically restrict myself from 90% of what is life, It's like, so I have to walk around in baggy long clothes, and I can't be outside at night, and I can't be outside by myself, and I must be on my wits and smart at all times, and if I get myself in a situation, I must learn how to talk myself out of it. It's like, bro, no, like why are you not attacking the people causing these situations, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because this is frustrates me, bro. It frustrates me, bro.
I know.
It's like I'm a son of my country, and I feel like my country is my kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
bro,
Wow.
get your
Yes, 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 yes. I
get your
agree.
shit together, bro. Honestly, bro, like get your shit together. I wanna box you. You feel what I'm saying? It's just annoying. It's just cause cause I know it's not something. All this ranting is to say it's not something that can change today. It's not something that could change tomorrow, bro. And it's not something even if it could, bro, is not gonna change because of me. This is something everybody has to do and everybody has to understand, bro. But the conditions that was set up, bro, like people don't even understand the situation that they're in, bro. You don't understand how bad they're getting played. You don't understand that just changing the prime minister, changing the whoever the chief of police is not going to do anything. Is not actually going to change anything in the country, bro. Is much deeper than that. Is a literal like it's like on a industrial scale if you feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
it's on a systemic level. And more,
systemic level if you feel
yeah.
what I'm saying. It's like the educate like and it's just people misunderstanding, bro. It's like is and it's two things actually. It's just very poor sexual understanding, like a very prehistoric and stupid understanding of sex and gender roles basically in society. And two, because I was really thinking about this, it's just lack of like literally giving zero fucks about mental health, bro. Because people can be
Yeah,
born literally like psychopaths. Like you could be born with no empathy in you. Like there's a difference between a psychopath and a sociopath. But and that's not even to excuse their behaviors. To say like these people are probably being put in this system and people aren't understanding their needs. You feel me? They're neglected by the system,
yeah,
and that could cause someone to go off in some kind of way.
exactly. I think what a lot of people don't understand. Listen, like I do think people who commit these heinous crimes do need to be punished. Do need to be punished. Do need to serve out a sentence. But rehabilitation is vital. Like I don't even think people understand when I say it takes a moment. It takes a moment to trigger the pathway to have committed that crime. A moment, like a little, it takes one action, one moment, one particular incident, something to trigger that pathway to happen. But it takes years and years and years of therapy to unravel that path. It takes
Exactly.
years and years of therapy. So it's not a oh, we're sending this person to prison and we've isolated them from society, therefore the problem is solved. That is not going to solve the problem. That has never solved the problem.
Could I cut in real quick? Also,
Yeah, go.
because I see people posting this, people are like, "Oh, bring back the death penalty." Like that is also not going to solve the problem how you think it is, bro. It's really not.
Never, never.
No,
It's never going to
it's not.
solve the problem.
But yeah, it's just
But no, what this, I promise you something nice, listeners. Trust us. We will have a whole episode on rape, gender based violence, and this femicide that's going on. But more than that, the point Aka was trying to make is that this particular incident sparked a wave of protest in Trini. And then what happened?
But basically, that's where we are right now. There was a big protest yesterday, and I even saw some bro Trinidad Twitter is wild. I kind of trying to contain myself because it's just very overwhelming with the kind of shit you be seeing. But yeah, is there's a protest. It's a good idea. I think it's a good unifying thing, especially with this COVID-19, and I feel like it was very helpful, especially for the woman that might be feeling extra paranoid or wary about the situation. Like to see those numbers of other people, like probably was very comforting and like probably help them deal with this kind of situation better. But that being said, I've even seen people like complaining and posting like my abuser was at the protest today, like, how are you gonna be, protesting about this, but like, you're telling your friends that, like, I'm lying about, the way you abuse me, and this that the third and whatever. And it's just it's like that's just to me to show like the levels it is at. It's like a protest is a good start, is a good visual image too, to like get people to be aware of what is going on. But like,
Yeah.
is that is not even the beginning of the work. You see, like, there's a lot of more work you need to put in beyond past that, and a lot of it has to do with, as I said, like mental health and sex education. And there's people literally not understanding and having like a corrupted view of, like, what sex is, and just the way how you grow up and you treat your daughters and your sons differently, and
Yeah.
you tolerate certain behaviors in your son. And I think as a man, if you are afraid to have a daughter because you don't trust men, then you probably need to go look at yourself in the mirror, because
I
the
say
men
you are part
the
of the
man you are the
part of
man you are the men you are around obviously is you could tell you know yourself that you're disrespectful to. Remember, you don't see them as people, bro. It's like a lot of men just
and not just that, like I want to say something because like in Botswana and the rape culture in Botswana, you know what like triggers me the most and pisses me off is some of my guy friends protecting their boys. Like, no, but he's my boy, so yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. He may be your brother, he may be somebody you know. You got to condemn actions and you got to create conversation. You can't tolerate this shit. You can't, like, like you're just breeding more of this toxic situation and you can't be covering other people's asses. And more than that, like every time a girl comes forward or somebody comes forward to say that they were abused or that they were sexually assaulted or that they were raped or they were molested or whatever, them coming forward to say something, one, I don't think people understand how hard it is to speak about all of this after you've been affected. That's single. But then to go on to say, no, but she's doing this just to create a stir of emotions, is blah, 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 blah. She's doing this for the money, no, 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 whatever, whatever. Not even giving her the benefit of the doubt because you know the person. That's the problem in countries like Trinidad and Botswana. The population is so small that indirectly you kind of know the person. You can create a chain link of how you know the person. So stop covering people's asses. Call out people for what they are, because otherwise we're never going to create change. We're just going to keep covering people's asses because you know them and they're your friends and they're people you know, so you don't want people to name them. But like, we're never going to move forward from this entire thing. There are going to be so many girls like Andrea if we don't move forward, and that's just not okay. It's just not fucking okay.
um yeah. And the crazy thing about it too is a lot of people are looking at this like as a woman's issue, it's like protect our women, this, that. It's
It's
like, bro,
not.
this is not even a woman's issue. Like, I don't even think even men don't, I don't even think men understand like the same root that is causing stuff like this to happen also affects men in a very toxic and negative way, bro. Let me
100%.
tell you something, bro. Do you know how much men they believe that a man cannot be raped, bro? Do you understand how many men there are, right? I was like, this one is messed up, bro, but I know it's true. Ask, I don't know, I'm not gonna actually do this, but a lot of men, bro, if you ask them how they were to feel about if their 10-year-old son had sex with a 25-year-old woman, how they'd feel, a lot of men would be proud of that shit. A lot of men would be like, oh yeah, that's good, blah, blah. And not know that they're traumatizing their son, bro. Shit like that.
That's
There
so.
was this rapper Boozy that said like, but he's a whole other trick. But he used to say like when his sons turned 10, he'd bring a prostitute to them, like, to give them their manhood and
What the
all
hell?
that. Like, bro, like all these behaviors, like, and a lot of men will look at it and be like, ah, yeah, like, trust me, bro. Do you know how much men they believe that know how much guys that they think like, if you're 14 and like a 35-year-old woman wanted to have sex with you, like they think that's a good thing, they'll be proud of that shit, bro. And they don't understand like how that literally fucks their chemical brain, bro. Like to understand the relationship between like them and woman, like just them and sex, them and everything. You feel what I'm saying, bro? Like you understand like all this shit has an effect on you, bro. And
I agree.
yeah, like it's just like on two sides. Like on one side, it's like obviously in general is like there's a big problem if a woman is enjoying having sex. I feel like, and then the next end is like a man is just supposed to be a sex crazy animal and just want to fuck anything that's wrong at any girl, this that, and like that's a good thing. It's like, bro, like these just all combination of all these things are what are causing shit like this to happen, bro. It's not as simple as
It's
just take this person or remove this kind of person, bro. It's literally it's subconscious, bro. It's not even stuff you consciously decide.
I
If you
agree.
want,
I agree.
that's why I kind of want to have a message, bro. I want to put a message out some men there, but I'm trying to find out how to phrase it properly. If you know what I'm saying.
To just
As a man, is Yvonne messed up that I have to say this, right? But the only way, and this not even gonna work with a lot of men because I would say is like you almost have to respect every woman, like if there was your mom or your sister, because that somehow that like some a lot of men can't, can't put that together. It's like if she's not your mom or your sister, it's like why should I respect her kind of thing.
right.
If you understand what I'm saying, and it's like you can't. A lot, bro, hell man, I don't even respect their mom or their sister. You know what I'm saying? And it's honestly, it's not even just a man, but I want to send a message to men before I send a message to everyone. But like, if you as a guy, firstly, as a guy, like you should know your friends. But if you're around your friends, like you should know what they're like. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're seeing certain situations in your friends, bro, like if you see they're being extra around, like they feel entitled to certain things from women, like they, even if a girl might be interested or whatever, they they want to go the extra mile, they want to be pushy, all these kind of stuff. They're saying stuff like we have to get a drunk before we go do this that. These, as funny as jokes as it might be, bro, these small things are what cause the big things, bro. No one wakes up tomorrow and like I'm just going to kidnap and grab this lady off the street and kill her, bro. Is these small behaviors adding up, and then you think one thing is okay, and then you're gonna go the next step. You're gonna go the next step, and you're gonna go
Exactly.
the next.
Because no one questioned it when they said it. And so they gain the confidence. They gain the confidence.
Yeah, so be very mindful of that, of who it is you're around, bro. And yeah, like it's hard, bro. It's just hard because that's just for men, because it's not only men that create these kind of people, bro. Like you could grow up with just a mom and turn out just the same way. If you know what I'm saying, because same way, woman, you can because there are some women that think that they can't, but women, you can be just as big a problem in this situation. You understand what I'm saying? Like, women, you can breed destructive habits in men. You understand what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Like, already any day, is more likely that a man has to be the abuser than a woman. You can, as a woman, still create that toxic masculinity. If you understand what I'm saying, does that make sense?
No, I want you to elaborate before I nitpick you on it. So, no, explain.
Okay. People look at this as a men's issue, as in men doing this to women, right?
Mm-hmm.
as we just elaborated, right, is not because a man just gets up one day and does this, right? It's because of society and you being taught to believe certain behaviors okay, and taking advantage of certain situations and all these kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A woman could teach or encourage that behavior in a man just as much as other men could. That is what my point is.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I
And a
agree.
woman could show and exhibit that behavior just as much as a man, although it's less likely because it's more so men are socialized to be like this and women are socialized to be in the other direction, if you understand what I'm saying. Like it's more likely that woman is to more than be that, to promote a man to be that, to promote her son to be that, if your son is going to school and he's hitting kids, bro, he's hitting girls, bro, because and you let him, you tell him, oh no, it's my son, da, 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 da. Like you are encouraging, you're telling him this behavior is okay, you're telling him
Agree.
that you can do this shit and get away with it.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Doesn't matter, bro. Like if your son is 3 years old and he's pulling a girl's skirt or whatever, bro, like it's of course it's a 3 year old, bro, but don't allow that shit to happen, bro. Don't encourage that shit to happen,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
You know what
Because
I'm saying?
things like that brew. Like question people's actions, question people's things that they say, because even like you said, a small joke of getting drunk, getting her drunk, or like whatever, like shit like that is brewing behavior. You are doing nothing but brewing behavior that gives them the confidence to act upon a thought to violate another human being like that. Like, people don't understand how much effort, how much confidence that person should have gained over time to and act upon a thought
Mm.
to violate someone else like that. Like, so don't give other people that confidence to do it. If you see such behavior, condemn it, talk to them about it, like say it, because otherwise you're just letting it brew. That's the thing. People think, oh, like, like it's my friend, so I should not say something, or like, oh, we're in a group of my friends and like everybody laughed at the joke, so I shouldn't say something about it. No, fuck that shit. Because if you don't say, you by staying silent in a way, you've contributed to the problem. You've contributed to the problem. You've let them gain the confidence to think that what they're doing is okay, what they're saying is okay, and eventually the problem is so big that it actually directly affects lives of so many people. So
Yeah, and
condemn.
the problem with those jokes too is like, yeah, of course, jokes and stuff are funny or whatever, right? And like maybe me, I could separate, like the reality of the situation from, how funny or whatever the joke was delivered.
Yeah, but how
A
many
lot
people
of
do
people
that?
cannot. A
Yeah.
lot of people do not. You understand what I'm saying? And like, although yeah, it's like a joke, like ha ha ha, like they actually believe the shit that they're saying,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, bro, it's just like encouraging certain behaviors and allowing them
And more than
to
that, like, okay, I'm really curious to know what like Trini government's response to this. Wait, tell them what you told me about something about the Ministry of Security. Like they did nothing. What did they do? This didn't this dude come out on bail or some shit? What it
Bill, like bro, government is one of the biggest enablers in this shit. Let me just say that, right? And aside from the fact of that, bro, for more than the government, bro, it's the police, bro. The police are. I'm, I almost said a conspiracy theory, but I'm not gonna say this.
okay.
But the police are very complacent, willfully or not,
Mm,
with this shit happening. And obviously, they think it's okay.
yeah.
These girls that are disappearing, is not coincidental. Let me say this like that. It's not just random people deciding to snatch people, bro. It's actually something deeper than that, even
Yeah.
more sinister.
Yeah,
and it goes down to primarily the like the education and the identity and stuff that we allow people to kind of create and allow to flourish in these situations,
I
if you
agree.
understand.
I agree.
And yeah, it's just bro, the government is not gonna say anything of any real value, bro, because again they don't think the people of Trinidad are smart enough to deserve something like that. They're like, people in Trinidad, you're stupid, so we're just gonna give you a stupid answer and you can kind of just move on with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like, while this has been happening, right? The Trinidad TTPS has a Facebook page and a Twitter page or whatever, right? It's like, people have even started noticing this. Like, these points when people are like, getting mad about these like domestic violence, like, especially when they're getting even more mad, what the TTPS will do is they'll come on their page and they'll post, so 200 pounds of marijuana raided today, 200 marijuana plants burnt down in a field by the task force, this, and literally every single time,
distraction.
all the response be like, bro, no one cares about weed when you literally have women disappearing off these streets, bro. No one even cares about weed regardless, bro. The fact that it only now became decriminalized is a whole next conversation. But no one cares, bro. What is the plant going to do? The plant is just going to be there, bro.
Yeah.
Plant is just going to.
It's distraction. It's just distraction because they don't have the answers and they don't have the ability to deal with it the way it needs to be dealt or address the issue the way it needs to be addressed. So what
And,
do? They create distractions. They create major distractions because you know why? The general public would buy into it. The general public would watch the news channel and talk about the burning field rather than talk about this girl.
yeah, and excuse me. I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, but yeah, there's not going back to nepotism point. There's not really much trust between people and the police, bro. Like, because there've even been reports of like literally police sexually abusing people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In this,
And yeah, I agree.
like,
I
like, bro,
completely see that.
yeah, I'm using the police station, bro. Like, what? Where's like, what other choice? Like, obviously, I have nowhere to go. If you know what I'm saying, I just feel hard for, you know, like, bro, like, no
And
one,
you know what it
no
is?
one deserves that they can't even leave their house without fucking, feeling paranoia. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Most people in China do not feel safe, bro. I'm not even a woman. Most of the times when I travel in the night, my heart is beating on my chest, bro. Especially if I have my laptop in my bag. Oh my god, bro. I'm
yeah,
looking around like, I'm like, cause bro, one wrong move, bro, and it's done. You're done for now. And imagine that's me. I'm 6 foot tall, bro. I'm not, bro. I'm a weak guy, but anyway, I'm 6 foot.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's taller than the average female by a bit.
yeah,
So if you don't drive, if you have no car, if you can't get around, whatever, it's like you're done for. And it's just even to say, like, more about how much they just don't care about people. Because guess what, bro? All these girls getting kidnapped and disappearing, definitely not gonna be no kind of rich and powerful person, kid. Definitely not, bro. You think any white child in Trinidad is gonna disappear? No. And if you're white and you feel offended, that's tough for you. I'm sorry. But no white kid in Trinidad is gonna go, bro. And bro, you could chill in your yard. They don't even need to. Your parents don't even look at you, bro, because they know that if they actually touch someone like that, is problems. But like, bro, for the average person like me, who's just living out there, bro, they don't care, bro. If you disappear, it's tough luck, bro. It's tough beans for
yeah.
you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 100%. And you know what? And maybe the government may only respond in immediate, like in immediate, in the immediate way they need to respond if it was only like the higher population's child that disappeared. You know, like people didn't care enough. People didn't care enough for Andrea. Imagine if they had found her sooner, or I don't know. I'm not trying to say maybe something may have happened, the situation may have changed. But after how many days was she found? Do you get what I'm saying? She was just she was disappeared for a while before people even noticed to even say something or do something, and for police to even enact and treat it as a proper missing persons case. Like, like that says a lot to the way power is being used, because it's not being used fairly at all. It's not at all being used fairly. So
Definitely, definitely not. And what the group, like, like I want to say the like just the regular people, the 99%, bro. What the 99% need to understand is almost everything that is done in this country is done for them, the 1%. Okay, fuck, yo, we might need to edit that or low key, but it's done for them, bro, the powerful people. And yeah, like they don't actually care about you, bro. Like they're only going to care about you when this is the sad reality, true, bro. They're only going to care about you when they see a material difference. That's, you know what that means? They're only going to start caring about you when your 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 resistance makes them lose money. You feel what I'm saying? That's really actually only thing that's going to make them want to change.
exactly.
If in Trinidad and Tobago decide for once, like, bro, let me be serious about something. Let me actually not forget this the next day. Like, let me hit them where they will actually care, their pockets. For sure, there was a woman that was found dead inside of a store. She was found dead inside of a store. This was a few years ago.
Wow.
That store is still open today.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure the store opened after. Like, how is a business allowed to run when you find a dead person in the store, bro? Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like all these things that we have been forgetting. Like, there are cases I could bring up from before I was even born. You feel what I'm saying? There are not stuff that are new in Trinidad. Like, let's not act like, oh, what happened to my country, because I see people like, oh, what happened to my country, what happened to my Trinidad? You know what happened? There's no carnival this year, so there's none to distract you, bro. There's none to distract you.
Yeah.
You actually have to sit and read the news. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what was going to be happening if it was a regular year? You'd read that on the news, you'd be like, wow, that's really
That's
sad.
sad.
And you leave
Yeah.
your phone and go to party, bro. You get drunk, you come
Exactly.
back, you
Yeah.
don't care anymore. Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
So
because everybody now has been forced to confront what's actually there. There are no distractions. The government cannot give them any distractions because no one, like, do you know what I mean? So everything's out in the open, everything's blatant. There's no, you can't send people out anymore unless you want to deal with them getting sick with COVID. And that's a whole other issue the government doesn't want to do because that's more money to spend. So right now, critically think. Trinidad, critically think. Condemn your people, talk to your people, start the conversation. Like, it needs to happen. It needs to happen yesterday. So let's do it now. Like, let's do it now.
yeah, and you know what? Also, like, actually, Loki, I feel like now that's a topic for next day. That's a different topic I was gonna head on to.
Yo, we're gonna talk, like, I don't, there is a part two coming up on this 100% because there's so much to be said just about this particular topic when it comes to Botswana, South Africa, Namibia, like just everything I grew up around in Southern Africa as well. Like, this is 100% dedicated to Andrea. Like, it's, I can't even imagine what her family and friends must be going through. But like, do not make her death in vain. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, clearly there's a conversation that needs to be sparked in Trinidad right now. There's action that needs to be taken. There are things that need to be done. So just don't make her another name on the list. Don't make her another statistic. Like, you know, do something about it, because how long are we just going to sit around complaining? But where's the critical thinking? Where's the conversation? Where's the learning and unlearning? So now there's time to actually sit down and do it, because you, like Akil said, there are no distractions. Carnival is not happening. So actually think, actually talk, actually speak about this issue, learn about your governments, because otherwise how else are you going to do things?
Exactly, and I don't know. I feel like kind of wanna just end with these points,
Mm-hmm.
but firstly, course, rest in power to Andrea, to Ashanti, to all the women and men and
Victims,
anything,
all the victims.
and just all the victims, of just absolute. It's hard for me to, it's literally hard for me to talk about, bro, because it's just, so sad to think someone could care so little bit about, an ex literal human life. But honestly, your names will not be forgotten, obviously, and yeah, people in Trinidad, like we have to we have to we it's up to us, bro. No one is gonna change anything for us, bro. If what you're requiring, if what you're asking for is for someone to change something, if you're asking for someone else to change something, nothing is gonna be changed in this country. The
Mhm.
only people that can change things are us as people, bro. And that we are less unified than we like to think to believe we are
Mhm.
as a country. And is I mean, some of it is our fault. Some of it is, I don't really, it doesn't really matter whose fault it is, but it's our problem to deal with, if you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Yeah.
It's not gonna change because the people that aren't complaining are the people that are benefiting you, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So is really actually up to us, and it starts with, education from top all the way down from the time you're a kid. And yeah, like look at the way you really actually think about how you treat your daughter, think about how you treat your son. Be
Mhm.
like, is this fair? Does this make sense? Like, what
Yeah.
am I promoting in my daughter and my son, bro? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what is it I'm trying to tell them that is okay behavior? Because what you do and you allow your kids to do is what you are telling them is okay. Like, is it okay for you to do this? I'm telling you,
Mhm.
So, and as much as you wanna think it or not, that shit actually does stay with you from a kid all the way up, So be
100%.
don't just raise your kids based on the manual or the handbook, like, oh yeah, this is what we did, da 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 da. Like, no, really and truly think about what, like, what you're doing to your kids and how that is going to affect how they grow, how they learn, how they understand the world. Question and think about how you understand the world. Be like, do I really believe this, or is this just what people told me to believe? Because mostly things you believe, you think, actually all the things you believe and you think it came from somewhere else, bro. Like, you don't just think of something, it definitely came from some kind of other influence, something before. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So as much as people like to hold on to their thoughts and their, oh, my thoughts are mine, they're really not. And a lot of them will just place, did you find them yourself, or they just the default? And that's really the difference, if you find something and it makes sense to you, that's different to than that's the default of what you were told. And yeah, so all of that is really and truly just a long way to say, yeah, bro, we have to get serious, and it's gonna take hard work. It's gonna take some hard work.
100%.
Yeah.
So get ready
And oh,
to do the work. That's the thing.
yeah, I was gonna say last thing in terms of educating the masses. As a people, like, yeah, we have to start thinking seriously. Be like, bro, how am I living in a country? I don't even understand how the government is working. I don't even understand what they're there for. Most people in Trinidad can't even tell you what the president of Trinidad does. I don't even know what the president of Trinidad is there for. She's just there. Feel what I'm saying? But like, stuff like this, we're not supposed to be accepting. It's like, bro, like, we are literally paying your salary, bro. Like, you're working for us, not the other way around.
Correct.
Feel what I'm saying? So we have to be serious in that. And as a person now, maybe more woke or educated in whatever you believe, just take your time with these other people, because you're going to come across a lot of ignorance,
Yeah.
a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of ego kind of things, and people trying to, put their personal feelings, their personal experience. But I'm not like this, and I didn't do this, but like, and you're gonna have to kind of deal with these stuff. But I'm begging you, you're gonna have to be patient if you really and truly want to see anything change. Because if you just dismiss these people and say, these people are ignorant, these people are stupid, those people are gonna go back
The
from the
next-
people you're trying to help to the people you're fighting against. You
Exactly.
feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, is not going to be anything close to easy. It's not going to be anything close to short, and it's not going to be anything close to nice or sweet. It's going to be hard. It's going to be painful.
It's gonna be long. Yeah.
But if you want to see a better, if you want shit to actually change, if you want shit to actually be as sweet and oh yeah, unity, lovey dovey. If you want the image you have of Trinidad in your head to actually be how Trinidad is, well, you can't ask them to change it because they've been happening like this for a while. It's
Yep.
not coincidence anymore. It's on purpose.
Very true.
But yeah, I feel kind of drained.
This is a heavy episode for episode
I
1, but
feel,
like
I feel lighter too because I feel like I got a lot off my chest.
good, good.
I could also, I'd same breath, I could also talk for like the next 2 hours at
Yeah,
this point. 'Cause
yeah.
once I remember one thing, it makes me think of a next thing, and I'm like, oh, this. But I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to
I
chill.
know, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I hope my Trini something nice listeners are actually listening to this, and I'm curious to see how this goes and where this goes and what role everyone's gonna play. Don't think you
Sweet
don't have a role to
T&T. Oh, I love my country. Sweet, sweet T&T.
play.
Oh.
I can't. Yeah, but
All right.
on a side note, can everybody actually go check out those music videos? Like, I I've never I've never seen I've never seen propaganda like this. Like, wow, I'm
Innovators in propaganda, right, bro? Apple couldn't even come up with shit like this.
genuinely like I'm like, wow. Okay. Anyway, until next time.
Yes,
Um,
people, in your mind, release your third eye. Till next time.
bye.